We're in our final set here at the Wildcat Sports Pub, 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York. We are here with West Genesee every single month. The Wildcats athletics have been phenomenal to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and to the Wildcat, which is right down the hill here. I want to thank Danny Tome, Heather Tome, and the entire team at the Wildcat. And of course, I want to thank Mike Burns and company over at West Genesee. And of course, Joe Corley and the entire football team, the parents, guardians, boosters, community members, everybody that has been, aunts, uncles, literally everybody in the West Genesee community, because you've been phenomenal to me, treated me like an honorary Wildcat, I think, from day one when I came in. So I can honestly say that because of what we've done with West Genesee, it's helped make other things possible within my company and within the community, because we set a high precedent here and a high bar. So with that being said, Colin McAvan, as well as Joe Corley, myself, Dan Tortora, I want to give an applause to them, but also to all the people of West Genesee in this community. Thank you. So it feels good because you were my first show, like I said, 4 years ago, because you're supposed to jump off the season, right? You go into season right when we go back to school. That's what it's supposed to be like. Colin, welcome back, and welcome to what hopes to be a normal season.
Thank you.
And I already told you off the air that you're getting older and I don't like it. So it's very strange. I mean, we talked about Chandler, like your brother's 20 now. He's been on the show. It's weird to me to see that in 4 years how much, I don't know, I feel like a dad now, being like, you're growing up so much. But it does, it feels that way. I mean, you've definitely grown.
Yeah.
So does the family feel that? Does they feel like it was, yesterday that you were a little kid?
I mean,
what do we think? Yeah.
They're out of their head, yeah.
Yeah, they feel that way. So where have you grown the most as a football player and as a person? What would you say?
I definitely think my leadership, 100%. Going into my sophomore year, I didn't know anybody. I met a couple of the guys, but I didn't know who anybody was. And then my junior year, I had a little bit more leadership. But now I definitely lead most of the team.
And what defines a good leader in your opinion?
When somebody does something wrong, giving not mean criticism, but you definitely want to tell them what's right and what's wrong, but in like a nicer way. But definitely to get in their face a little bit.
How do you perfect the art of telling somebody something that they did wrong, but making sure that they actually listen to you and that they don't get defensive?
Well, I'm not really sure. It's just, you just gotta, it's more of like our friendship. So when I get into somebody's face or whatever, they know it's on the football field. Off the football field, it's 100% different. We'll, joke and laugh on the football field. I can be mean to somebody. My best friend off the football field.
Coach, same question I asked Colin. How do you perfect the art of, like you said, you yell at these guys, you get on them, but you love them. How do you balance the art of, I need to be tough, but I also need to make sure you're listening? How do you get the message through when you have to relay a message that maybe isn't the best news?
I think first of all, it's about not being the boss, but being the leader, and you want kids to be leaders. And a lot of it goes back to an old saying that you want to correct the behavior, correct the mistake, not the person, and don't make it personal. And we're all guilty of it sometimes. We get frustrated, we lose our patience, we call people out. At the end of the day, you want to make sure that people know you're there to help them get better. You're not there to criticize them with the mistake.
Now, you just said it. You're not there to criticize them. You're there to criticize the mistake. Can you separate that? Do you feel like over the years you've been able to say, hey, listen, I'm not mad at you. I just want to fix this?
Yes and no. I mean, look, I'm human like everybody else. We all, at some point, we all lose our patience. We all get angry. We all get irritated. Football is an emotional game, probably more than any other sport. There's so much that goes into it. I mean, find one other sport where you practice 6 days to play once, and you put in all this time for 10 weeks. I was just telling my family on Monday, this is the first of 70 days in a row without a day off, without a Sunday off, and we're going to play 8 games. 70 days of work for 8 games. It's a lot. So it's real easy to let the emotions get the best of you, to say things that you don't mean. You just hope that by doing the right thing and saying the right things enough, that people know how you truly feel and that it's not personal.
Colin, how do you think Coach does in getting the message across?
I think he does a great job. I mean, he does yell at me a lot, but yeah,
I do.
today.
We had just went over 26 track 2 seconds ago. All right, we'll finish this tomorrow.
But yeah, he does a great job. No, but he definitely, he'll get on you a lot. But when we're in the huddle and everything, he tells us, like, you know, it's all right to make a mistake as long as you correct the mistake the next time. And the twos behind them make sure that if they're watching, so that if a mistake does happen, then they won't follow what mistake just happened.
Can you take the criticism?
Yeah.
Okay. You feel like you've gotten better at that?
100%, yeah. Definitely.
And when you dish it out, how do you kind of take a guy aside, and when do you? Do you do it during practice, after practice? How do you do it?
Well, it depends on what it is. If it's something that keeps happening, I'm pulling it like after practice, in between sessions, whatever. You talk to them, and you have a conversation with them about what is happening, whatever, how to fix it. But then if there's something else going on in the field, whatever, that's happens one time, you just tell them, you got to fix the mistake for the next time.
Looking at this upcoming season, it's surreal in the sense that it's like it's almost here, but we know what it's like to have it all taken away. So it's like almost here, but you just want it to happen. Now that you're a captain in this moment, after everything that we've all been through, how impatient are you?
Very. In June, I was like, I just want to play a game tomorrow.
And so knowing that, I mean, with injury, you can have the game taken away. With academic ineligibility, you can have the game taken away. But this past year and a half, we've had so much taken away that there's nothing we could have, there's nothing you could have done about it. What did it teach you, especially as a young kid, about the fact that sometimes things will happen in the world and there's nothing you can do about it?
Don't take anything for granted. I mean, I never thought in a million years that I would potentially miss my junior year of football. I never thought we'd have a pandemic, whatever, and when it did happen, I didn't think we were going to have a season. I thought we were just going to have a whole year off. I was very upset about it. But once I found out we were going to have a season, not a regular season, nobody would go to the games or anything like that. I mean, we're still playing football, so that's all that matters.
How did you get through it? What did you do to get yourself through it?
Pretty much whenever you get a chance, just go outside and you can get a run in, whatever. We had a couple of summer practices just with our teammates to get ready for the season, and this was last summer. We thought we were still going to have a fall season.
Yeah.
We had summer practices, just us, doing our own thing, and it got it all taken away from us. So it wasn't for nothing. We definitely got some work in, but yeah.
Coach, I mean, we've discussed it on the air, on audio. We've discussed it sitting next to each other. Looking back on it, how did you lead through this? Because you talked about you don't want to be a boss, you want to be a leader. And you want to teach other people how to lead. How did you navigate through waters that were crashing on all sides of the ship? We never knew where they were coming from, when the tidal wave was going to hit. How did you steer a ship in waters that were truly uncharted?
Sometimes it felt blindly. I didn't really know what to tell them. I tried to keep communication open, more so just to keep people connected than anything else, but just trying to be open about what I knew we could do, what we couldn't do, what I thought was coming. Every time I thought we had good news, try to get the word out there, and then of course every time it turned into bad news, break it to them. But just trying to keep the players, the parents, and the families connected through email. You know, how sad is that? But that was the best we had, was email, we had Zoom. That was really all I could think of, was to keep everybody connected through communication.
And how did you feel like the community responded to doing whatever you could? I mean, doing Zoom, did you feel like you could still get emotion, get that connection eventually?
Yes and no. I mean, look, at the time it was the best we had, so you know, we valued it, but it wasn't what we all wanted, and we knew that.
So we step toward this season. We're going into rapid fire. Colin, you know all about this, and so does Coach. My second to last one for you, Coach, of the night, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, live on location at the Wildcat Sportsman. We're here every single month with West Genesee, only at the Wildcat when it comes to West Genny, and happy to be here with all of the programs. And of course, tonight with the football kickoff special 2021 with the West Genesee Wildcats football program. Coach, you and I are going to take a road trip. We have 24 hours to go anywhere. Where do we go and why?
Pacific Highway. We did it a couple weeks ago as a family. We went from San Francisco down to LA, but we only had one day to do it, so we missed a lot of the stops, a lot of the scenery. It was a 13-hour drive, and I always said if I could do it again, I would stretch it out into at least 2 days. So I'm doing Pacific Highway again, and I'm going to stop about 5 or 6 more times and pick up a lot that I missed the last time.
And I know you wanted to see the Golden Gate Bridge, and you got closer and closer to it, and you got to have that as part of your trip, which to me, watching and living vicariously through you, it seemed like you were a big kid in that moment, that it was really important to you.
It was amazing. I've always been into bridges, and I've been wanting to see the Golden Gate Bridge for my whole life. So to finally see it and to jog across it with my stepdaughter and take a picture with her in front of the tower, it was something special.
How would you describe that moment?
Surreal. It was almost like, is this really happening? Just being on the West Coast, I'd only been there once my entire life. But so to be there with my son and my stepdaughter, because I was about 6 or 7 years old when my father showed me the first picture of the Golden Gate Bridge, and I've always wanted to see it. I've been, just obsessed over it for so long. So to be there with my son, about the same age as I was, it was something special.
And it's pretty amazing, and I know you've had a lot of emotion on that trip, which was awesome. What's your next one for me?
Ooh, good question. All right. I only came prepared with 4 questions tonight, so.
Yeah, 2 more.
Let me think here.
Okay.
Okay, you're the new principal of West Genesee High School, and you got to make one rule. One rule change. You got to set one rule. What is it?
All of your questions tonight have been great. They've caused me to think about leadership, which I love. And you and I have built a bond over the last 4 years and change, so I feel like you should ask me the hard questions. So, if I was principal of West Genesee, what's the first rule that I would make? Oh, man. Something that I want to say about Central and Upstate New York, I want to cut off from Long Island, and I want to be our own state, and I want to make our own rules. That's what I want. But if I'm at West Genesee, then I would say, what's one thing that I would do? Okay, I'm gonna say this. I would let Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora be the morning announcements.
There you go.
That's what I would do. That's what I would pick. All right, Colin. All right, well, I've gotten to know you over the years, gotten to know your family. You have a great family, awesome people. So, if you I'm sorry in advance I'm asking this, and I know they're filming it right now. You're going to take one human being, one family member, on a dream vacation. Which family member do you choose, and where do you take them?
Why did you have to do that?
Because I've been asked all these hard questions. I got to sling some back.
You just put me on the hot seat.
That's what rapid fire is.
Jeez.
If it's not hot, it's not rapid fire.
It's tough.
I think your mom just stopped filming. I think she just cut the feed for a second here.
Man, you got me sweating over here. You're supposed to stare at.
What are you going to take?
Whoever wins in a rock, paper, scissors match. That's too hard.
Okay, where would you take them?
Oh, I want to go to the Bahamas.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I can honestly tell you that of all the shows I've done and all the years that I've done it, I've never seen two parents stare down their child. I felt the heat coming off of you, so I like that you did rock, paper, scissors. I'll let you go on that one. What's your first one for me?
All right. Is an avocado a fruit or a vegetable?
I don't like these questions. Well, it has is it considered a seed? Whatever's in there? No, it's a pit. So some people would say it's a fruit. I would say it's a vegetable.
You're wrong.
I don't care. How to make guacamole no matter what. All right, Coach, my final one for you tonight. You asked me all of these really deep leadership questions.
I asked for it. Let me have it.
So I got to give you something. All right. You are the last survivor. Like, I don't know if you saw it on Kiefer Sutherland was in the show on Netflix, on ABC and on Netflix, where he survives the president and everybody in an attack and whatever, and he becomes the president of the United States. So you're the president because you're the only one left. So they didn't vote you in, you got the job. What are the first 3 things that you're going to do for the country to prove that you deserve the job?
Ooh.
Yeah, I asked for this one.
You did.
All right. Wow.
You don't like them when they come back.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. There's a lot of things I want to do.
Okay.
That's why it's a tough one. It's not that I don't know what I do. It's what are the first 3. I guess the first thing I would do is I would find out where the other survivors are and find out what they need, and tell them that I can't promise I'm going to get them what they need, but I'm going to do my best trying.
Okay.
We talked about honesty, right? You want honesty in a leader, in a president, in a governor. I'm not going to stand in front of the country and promise them A, B, and C if I know I can't deliver it. So I'm going to tell them I'm going to do my very best to get them what they need, so they're going to be okay. Second thing I would do,
Make the fair 27 days?
actually, it wouldn't be a bad idea. I love the fair.
It's more than
Wow.
half a month now.
I know.
It's crazy.
And I haven't been once, and I probably won't go. Oh, this is a tough one. I would probably want to make sure wherever there are survivors, whether it be in different pockets of the country or however it may be, I guess I would want to make sure that every pocket of survivors had someone representing them,
Okay.
so that they had a voice.
Okay.
I mean, how frustrating would it be if I was taking care of the East Coast and the West Coast got nothing, right? So I guess I'd make sure that every set of survivors had someone to represent them, and that they had a voice, and that I could hear their concerns and hear their wants and their needs and do my best to take care of them.
Okay.
So I got one more to go.
Yeah.
Okay. It's awfully quiet.
Everybody's waiting. Everyone's listening. They're actually listening to you more than they listen to a normal presidential address. It's more quiet. Because normally it butts into my shows. Why do they have to do it at 8 o'clock? Do it at 6. We expect the news at 6, so just do it at 6. Why have 5 o'clock news, 6 o'clock news, and then prime time interrupt your show news? Don't ever interrupt Big Brother. That's my only thing.
This feels like 3rd and long in Baldwinsville. It's 3rd and 16. What are you going to call? Don't screw it up.
Yeah, come on.
I guess the last thing I would do is shut up and put up, right? I mean, stop promising A, B, and C, and start pounding the pavement and getting the job done, right? Because we all get promised things, and what we really want is someone to shut up and take action. So I guess I would do that in whatever manner that means. Go to work and get the job done.
I like it. Good stuff. You can be in my cabinet.
All right.
All right, Ben, my last question for you. I promise I'll be nicer. So, you can play, I've been hearing some songs on the other side that I like. You can play 3 songs in the car for the rest of your life. What would they be and why?
Number 1 is "Good for You" by Olivia Rodrigo.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Number 2, probably "Costa Rica" by the Kid Leroy.
Okay.
Definitely. And then, not really sure. Probably "Brutal" by Olivia Rodrigo as well. She's definitely my favorite artist.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. What's your last one for me?
All right. You got to be 100% honest with me. No biasness at all.
This hot seat's been so ridiculous today.
Who do you think's going to win the Class A section finals?
Oh, come on. Come on with that. I will tell you that I don't usually I've never prognosticated this. So I'm going to, I honestly will tell you that I can't answer that in the sense of the fact that I like to actually see what's on the field. So I'm going to tell you that much. But what I will say, in covering all the teams that I get to cover in this great community, and this is not the political answer because you've known this from being around, West Jenny treats me in such a way that is very special. And going around the community, I look for that. I do. You know, with all the coaches and the players I get to talk to, West Jenny, like I said to Joe, has set the bar very, very high. The way that I'm treated by the parents, guardians, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, grandma and grandpa, with all the years that we've done and everybody we've talked to, and going through this COVID year and a half together. I mean, I remember when there wasn't the sports, and 6 people sat up here and they were all signing their national letter of intent to play sports and to continue their scholastic future somewhere, and everybody had a mask on and everybody was going to a different school, and I got to sit in that corner and speak with them. And the mom that, you know, like there's all these families that put it together. One of the moms came up to me. She said, "Thank you for everything you did." I said, "You guys did all the work. My job was to come sit on a couch and talk to them." She said, "Yeah, but you don't get it. This is the only sports-related thing that my daughter will have this whole year." So, West Jenny, what I wanted this show to be and what it's become is a million times more than what I could have anticipated. So I know that I'm always hoping the best for all of you, and you're near and dear to my heart. You build friendships, you build good relationships, and I want to see West Jenny succeed in it, on the field, off the field, on the court, off the court, because as people, especially the conversation I just had, you know, off the air here with Dan, the way that I'm treated here is really paramount, and it means a lot to me, and my heart goes out to the community. So when I say that I love you all, I mean that. Thank you for everything. I do mean that. Does that work?
I mean, that works for me.
All right, fair enough. So for Colin McAvan, Joe Corley, myself, Dan Tortora, this has been your football kickoff special. Go see West Genesee on the field here in the fall, like it should be. We'll talk with you soon from Central New York, Wildcat Sports Club, and West Genesee, here every month. Take care and have a good night.